So, number one, they really get to know each other every day of their lives. Because what we have to remember in relationships are over time, people change and they change every day. Experiences change our views, behaviors change, and people just change. So many people are in a relationship that they knew the person from years before. And a lot of times they don't, in their mind, feel or see that the person has changed. So it's that check-in that they do.
I think I know you.
Sometimes.
You've changed and I know you. That's a good one. I like that. They get to know each other every day of their lives.
Reacquaint yourselves.
The second one is, these couples that are successful, they're realistic and understand that people make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, but you are realistic and understand that I don't do these things on purpose.
Right.
But we all make mistakes. And you know what? It's okay. I didn't do it on purpose. And life can be difficult at times, and you get stressed out and confused, and you make a mistake. So cut people slack.
Well, and one of the things that each of the couples said to us was forgiveness is really a superpower.
I have that.
You do. That's like one of your number one character traits is Mark is super forgiving. So I agree with that. I can't tell you it's one of my superpowers.
Nope, it's not.
I believe in owning a mistake and then being able to move on.
Okay.
So that's me.
What's the third one?
The third one, they never, ever cheat on their spouses.
Yeah, it's bad.
If you want to torpedo your marriage and destroy your spouse, go ahead and cheat.
And I know guys that cheat on their wife and they get away with it, and she even knows about it. In a previous marriage for me, that happened, and I can tell you it's one of the most devastating things that impact a marriage. Yeah.
So that was universal amongst all the couples that we talked to.
So it's not something you do; it's something you don't do. Just don't do it.
Right.
And if you're doing everything else we're talking about, there's no need for that.
Right.
Well, the fourth one is they allow each other to disagree. And we disagree. I don't say we disagree a lot. We disagree.
Well, we're both pretty opinionated, so
You're a little more than me, but yeah, we are opinionated.
And I think the point is, if you do disagree, just realize you don't have to come to an agreement. If it's an important issue, you're going to have to do give and take because you love each other.
Right. That's the thing.
But you don't always have to agree. I mean, I don't really know any couples that agree on everything.
No, and you have to find common ground. I think that's a good tool in this area. Find some common ground. You can disagree, but there could be some things that you do agree on.
All right, so the fifth one is always point out great things about your spouse.
I love your hair today. And your earrings.
Oh my God, it's pouring rain. My hair is a disaster today. But that's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, and I mean it sincerely. I think that not only point it out about your spouse to your spouse, but do it in front of other people.
Right.
My wife is the greatest mom and stepmom that ever existed. And when you say that in her presence with other people around, it's amazing.
It's like a gift.
It's
almost.
A gift.
Yeah, you have to give them the gift.
So I think it's important to be able to do that.
The sixth thing is really listen to each other. And again, universally, the couples we spoke to said, disagreements are stressful for any marriage, but they don't have to tear you apart. If your spouse is really upset by something that they've been trying to get you to do, listen to them. Just really take the time and actively listen.
I think the other part of this is when you're asking your spouse or partner questions about something that's going on in their life, do not respond with a solution. That's not what they're looking for. What was I saw the finger.
I just did this.
I'm sure you're making faces again.
No.
Don't respond with a solution.
Yeah, actively listen. Continue to ask questions and be a major contributor to the conversation.
So similar to what we said before, go out of your way.
Number 7.
Go out of your way to say nice things to each other. It's not that hard. We have these morning routines, and at some point we always meet up. But that's when we're really kind to each other. How did you sleep? What do you got planned for the day?
And really, it's go out of your way to do nice things for each other. So not only say it, but do it. Stopping at the store or picking up chocolate chip cookies because that makes you happy. I mean, number 7 is really go out of your way to do something nice.
Right.
Right?
The big thing, how you stay out of trouble, is number 8. really connected couples who are really thriving in this time in their life, they have great communication skills. They what is it? They respond, they don't react. They ask really good questions.
Right.
They don't provide solutions right away. They really find out what's wrong with the other person and what's happening.
And I thought it was kind of cool. One of the couples said most arguments start because there's been a miscommunication of some kind.
Right.
So if you know that going into it, you know how important communication is to the relationship, and it's really the backbone of the marriage.
Right.
So that was number 8.
Another core thing that successful couples do is they protect and they stand up for each other. You know, when we're in a conversation in front of some other people and somebody says something to Jody that's off color or is an insult or something, I will stand up for her, right?
Right.
Have I
you
done
do?
that?
Yeah.
Have I ever punched someone for you?
No.
No.
But a stereotypical example would be, you know, a meddling relative who is always taking the husband's side and tearing down the wife behind
Right,
her back.
right.
You know, these are attacks on both the spouse, the marriage, and the family unit, including the children. And it really can destroy a marriage. So really protecting and standing up for your partner almost at all costs. I mean,
Well,
we've done the
feels good.
whole, we'll talk about that in the car ride
Yeah,
home,
but
but
when you
defend,
d- when-
protecting and defending. I
When you
think is-
defend and protect me in front of other people, the feeling that I get
Right.
is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's not that, oh, she took my side. That's not what it is.
So that was number 9.
You love me, you care about me, you let other people know about it.
That's
so
right.
that feels great. So
That's
thank
right.
you.
So number 10, I think, is really important, and we're finding balance in this as we move between, you know, our 2 houses. But number 10 is each person has to have their own lives, and you
Right.
guys have heard us talk about that before. You know, I'm sure you've met someone who's needy or felt incomplete or helpless without their spouse or partner. And, you know, these people put themselves in very precarious situations. The couples we talked to said each of them have their own lives, but they always reconnect.
Right. That's good. I love that. When we say our own lives, it means that we each have our own friends, we have our own hobbies, and we have our own
Space.
space.
Yeah.
So when we have that, that gives us time to do what we need to do on our own. But then we do a lot together as well.
Right.
But I think that that's really important.
Right.
You know, we talked about the reason for doing this is really to give you some tips on how to strengthen your relationship